Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today. There's so much to cover in regards to banks that are starting to cut credit lines and banks that are opening up fake accounts. Before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. Don't forget, in the video description below, you can sign up for our email list. If you want more access to me and more exclusive content, there's Patreon. But let's get into it right away. First things first, banks and credit card companies are cutting credit card lines, and we've seen this in history. The last time we saw this was after the 2008 debacle. We saw banks doing this. Now, this happened to me. Got a few credit cards. They're all paid off. And one thing I noticed was one of the credit card companies sent me a notification that they're going to start changing their terms of service. So I started reading these things. And again, I preach this to you guys, so I was like, okay, I should read this. And one of them has a new monthly maintenance fee, okay? To report to the credit card agencies, they're going to charge a monthly fee. And I'm thinking, well, that's kind of ridiculous, okay? Look through the form, in addition to their yearly fee. So not only are you paying a yearly fee, you're paying a monthly fee for the thrill of having this credit card that's paid off. So, frustrating. I thought, okay, I'll deal with this next week when I get back to town, and forgot about it, okay? So flash forward, I get a text message that the payment's due. So I go to make the payment and find the card and, open it up online. And the most maddening thing happened where the credit card has a $12.50 a month charge to report to the credit reporting agencies. It's insane, guys. It's nuts. The worst part is that the credit limit on this card was, listen to this, $125. I'm like, wait a second. This thing had, I think, a $1,500 limit on it. Not that it's my biggest card, and not that it's the best card, but it's one of them that I had for several years. So I'm thinking, wait, there's something wrong here. So I go to make a payment. Now here's the most ridiculous part. I go to make a payment, and it would not take the payment. It would only take a payment that was 5 days out, 5 business days. And I'm like, wait a second. If I do a 5 business day payment, it's going to make the payment late. So I'm like, well, no, I got to call this place. So I call the bank and get on the phone. Yeah, we no longer have instant payments. I said, they're not instant payments. They're that day if you make them before 3 p.m. Well, now they're 5 days out. This is designed, guys, so that if you make a payment and you're not thinking about it and you don't make it 5 days early or schedule it 5 days early, it's going to be late. So, furious, okay? Then I said, wait, is my credit line been lowered? Oh yes, sir, we lowered it to $125 because you don't use the card. You haven't used the card since, let me check, November 12th of last year. I said, I'm sorry, that's I'm the ideal customer. I'm not gonna, use the card and be behind. No, we want you to use the card. So we've lowered the credit line to you. In fact, we're doing this with a lot of people right now. Okay, so I lost it, and needless to say, they're going to raise the credit limit back to where it was. Big deal, who cares? But the point was, this ridiculous criminal fee that they're charging, I'm going to get rid of the card, to say the least. But the fee that they're charging right now is outrageous for this. But I called the woman that does credit repair and said, I need to talk to you about this because I'm concerned that this is happening with everybody. Oh, Dan, it's happening all over. Everybody's getting their credit lines lowered. And again, the story of people that have a $15,000 credit line, then they owe, they're responsible and they owe $6,800 in their credit card, and the bank lowers the credit line to what they owe. So instantly you're maxed out. So if you have a fee, or if you're a day late, you're over your credit limit and they can charge you all these fees. This is designed for the banks to make more money, but you have to physically look at all these cards. Now, one thing that I did is I pulled all the cards out of the drawer and I have to now use these credit cards, because if you don't, they're going to lower the credit lines on everybody. And this is happening across the board. Now, this was not the big card. It was not with a main bank. You know, through the years, when you have less than stellar credit, you have to get a credit card just to get by. We've all had to get through this if you've ever had a problem. Now, the point with this is that maintaining these cards, you've got to maintain them for your credit, but make the decision to if you're going to close these accounts or not. Because me, I'm going through all these. The ones that are ridiculous, the ones that have any ridiculous fees, I'm getting rid of them. But the banks, this is 2008 all over again, guys. This is not something that just Dan or Dan's a deadbeat or anything like that. They're lowering these credit cards limits, guys. This is happening to absolutely everyone. And it's happening with big banks and small banks. And you have to take a look at this. Now, the next thing is U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank was just fined $37.5 million for opening up fake accounts for people. They encourage their sales staff to take existing clients and open up accounts. Now, where have we heard this from before? It was those thieves at Wells Fargo did this, and they got fined hundreds of millions of dollars for doing this. But the smaller bank at U.S. Bank did the same thing, where they have quotas. And I personally feel that this is the tip of the iceberg, because for these guys to go out and do this and have it fly under the radar after what Wells Fargo did, this is only going to be a bigger problem. So U.S. Bank goes out, opens up these fake accounts, and people did not know about this. But people started to realize that, you know, why do I have a separate checking account? Why do I have a separate savings account? And what they did was they just closed these accounts. So started to close the accounts, started to accumulate fees. And the banks were like, people were upset because of the fees. And with that, it opened the investigation. And with the opening of the investigation, people realized that this was done. And then finally somebody squealed that they had a quota that they had to meet. And with that quota, they were responsible for opening up these fake accounts. That is horrible, guys. Absolutely horrible. But you're going to see more of that. Much, much more of that. And, you know, have anybody fallen victim of this? Have you guys had your credit lines cut? Get ready for this, because it's happening, guys, right now, all over the place. I love getting gifts in the mail. And yesterday I was at the post office box, and I got a final notice on a parcel. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I don't remember the first notice because I would have picked it up. And so I go to the parcel, you know, window. They have a separate window for it. And, hey, Dan, what's going on? Oh, I got this notice. She says, that's weird. You never got the first notice. Which we agreed on that. And I got a package from the one and only Predatory from Appalachias Homestead, who bought me this beautiful cast iron skillet that I'm going to put to good use. And she is absolutely amazing. And if you guys have not seen her channel, you are missing out. But this woman is prepping for everything, running a working farm, and I absolutely love her channel, and you guys have to check it out. So Appalachias Homestead with Predatory. I'll leave a link below. But again, guys, if you think you're ready, you're not ready. If you watch Predatory's channel, you'll definitely know you're not ready. But I love all her advice. She did a shout out for me a few months ago, and ever since then we've connected. But again, I apologize that I didn't get this notified, you know, from the post office sooner, but better late than never, and I'm going to put it to good use. So thank you, Predatory, and everybody do yourself a favor and check out her channel, because it's absolutely amazing. Canadian banks right now are concerned about the credit problems with their customers, so much so that they are shoring up their accounts by protecting themselves against future losses because of burgeoning household debt, is what they called it, and that the average consumer is borrowing, you know, up to their eyeballs to make ends meet. And with that, it's creating problems for these banks. But the banks see it, that there's going to be issues with these people being able to pay their bills. And I love this. Don Hoyas is an insolvency expert. And the Bank of Canada brought an insolvency expert in, not for them, but for people and to understand that what people are experiencing is only going to get worse right now. So we're going to experience insolvency. We're going to experience people not being able to pay their bills, but the bank right now is convinced that even though everything is great here, everything's great in Canada, the UK, there's no recession, there's nothing to worry about, they're worried about this. Now, the Bank of Canada also is talking about lowering people's credit lines. So, guys, if you are one of these people that is living on your credit right now, you better take a look at all this, because people right now are saying, oh, don't worry, we've got $3,000 worth of credit. We're going to be able to get by through the next month. You may not have that right now. And again, I am a person that believes in the paper statements, so that you have to look at this stuff and you have to see it. It's much it's much easier to overlook things that are sent to you online than it is having these paper statements. And you can argue with this all day long, but this is ridiculous. But the Bank of Canada is shoring up their reserves because of all the insolvency that's coming in the future. Absolutely a huge problem, guys. Inflation continues to grow. And as inflation continues to grow, we got another number that is absolutely bad news right now. And that is PCE. PCE is personal consumer expenditures. That went up another 1% in the last month. And with the 1%, with the 1% increase, again, it keeps us at a 40-year high. Now, you guys can sit there and you can talk about this and act like it's no big deal. It is a huge deal. And again, I want to remind you guys of something. When I was a kid, growing up in the 70s and seeing that, our peak inflation back then was 14%. PCE does not use the two main things that drive inflation, and that is fuel and food that everybody's freaking out about. So because they don't do that, we're not supposed to think that there's a problem right now. But again, it's a problem. The company Comcast, the big cable company. This company's out there talking about how for the first time ever since they added internet to the company, I'm a little early today and it's dad yoga, which is not the same thing as mom yoga. So, anyways, Comcast, for the first time since they added internet to their repertoire, they had less people sign up. Normally it's month over month growth, month over month. And now it's dropping, not only for the month, but for the quarter. People are cutting back on their cable again. So, kind of a problem, kind of a sticky situation where you see people, honey, what can we get rid of right now to save a little money each month, because we don't have enough money to get by. And the first thing is cable TV. So cable, and again, guys, look at the alternatives. Look at Tubi and look at the other free apps that you can get free TV on. Just do an app search. You'll be shocked at what this stuff is that's out there. And, take a look at it. One thing that I've talked about in the past is the potential for your pension to be cut. And, oh, Dan, that could never happen. Just, it's ridiculous. You're just yelling fear and you're trying to get people scared. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the GM bankruptcy that happened. GM has had millions of people that have retired from GM and their subsidiaries. There's a company called Delphi, which was a subsidiary of General Motors, and they had 20,000 people that were on their pension program. Well, Dave Muffley wakes up, GM goes into bankruptcy, he retires at 62. He retired young. Dave worked, and then he was like a transmission tech, worked in-house, a salary position, retires at 62 years old, which is young. The more closer I get to ages like that, I'm like thinking, these are young guys. Guy retires young, and then number one, loses his health insurance, okay, that he needs for the rest of his life. So Dave gets to pay for that. And then his pension got cut by 30% to where he couldn't make ends meet at all. Now, through the bankruptcy court, the Supreme Court just determined that they can't they cannot make General Motors pay for this. So the bankruptcy court held up. Now, again, guys, what does that mean? If one of these companies or one of these pensions files bankruptcy, you're stuck. Now, Dave and an entire group of these pension holders are going to Congress to say, hey, can you do something about it? Whether they can do something about it or not is going to be, open, to interpretation, and if they're going to be able to fix it. But again, with their free money, they'll probably give these people their pension back or something. But right now, these people don't have that. They've lost 30% of their pension, the health insurance, other benefits. You have to look at this. This could happen to you anytime. Now, in the last couple days here, we've had a tremendous amount of rain in Arizona, Nevada, and Kentucky. Seen really, really crazy stuff. And with this increased rain, one thing that we have is you have flash flooding. And you'd think that, okay, that's going to solve everything. No. How about this? Nevada and New Mexico just announced that they have 50 days of drinkable water. 50. That's it, guys. After 50 days, they're done. They don't have any water to drink. So if you don't think that there's a water crisis, you guys are kidding yourself right now. So 50 days of drinkable water is awful. So, share your thoughts on all this stuff, because this is catastrophic. And these poor people in Kentucky, all the stuff that you've seen, it's awful. People out doing yoga on a Saturday. It's nice. Now, all my friends in the UK that send me stuff get great things sent to me. What is the true cost of inflation? And what they did was they did a scan of 45 products that everybody buys. And again, I'm not going to list all of them, but when you see this stuff and you see what people are purchasing, it's everything that you guys buy. Let's just put it that way. Take a look at the list. But a few things that I want to make a point of. Listen to this. Gas went up 59.1%. 59.1% globally. Eggs, 33%. Chicken, 19.8%. And men's suits, which is the crime of all crimes, that went up 25%. Damn the man. The other thing is coffee. Coffee went up 17%. And they say coffee is the next thing to spike big time, which again, that's awful, because coffee is nectar of the gods. Now, think about this. This is staggering. The average family, when you add up the increases for everything inflationary right now, that includes energy, food, everything that we have to buy just on a regular basis, it works out to $493 a month. $493 a month, guys. That is unbelievable for the average family. The average family making the average income. Now, if you make more money, you're spending more money. Now, you may be single and you may be spending a little less. Great. But $493, you know what that works out to? $5,916 a year. That is insane, guys. Give me $6,000. Give me $6,000. Give me $493. I mean, it's just crazy when you think about these astronomical figures with this. So, there is no end in sight. You can lie. You can tell us it's with my friend. The check's in the mail. I'll pay you on Thursday. She's just my, she's just my sister. Don't worry about her. It's nuts, guys. It's all these lies that we're supposed to sit there and believe. No. This is catastrophic, guys. And this is destroying civilization. It's destroying families. Now, from being a single dad, and I just remember this time of the year getting ready for sports. Think about sports. Think about what's coming your way as a parent. Now, all the fees, joining sports. It used to be cheap, guys. It used to be, your kid wants to play baseball? $75. Okay? I used to sit there and say I would get $100 to death a day when my kid played baseball. Oh, you ripped your shorts? Oh, you ripped your game playing pants? We got to go buy new pants at 9 o'clock at night? It's catastrophic, guys. And you have to do that. the worst thing, the thing that drove me crazy was my son started switching sports and was playing baseball and doing cross country. The school came and said, we want you to have 2 separate travel fees. Huh? Well, the travel fee is the bus fee. Now, when you pay for a student, if you read the contract, it says you're paying for bus usage for a year. And I'm like, wait a second, just because my kid's doing 2 separate sports, you want to pay this fee twice? I'm going to revolt. No, I'm going to say no to this, and you guys can beat it out of me. And they didn't, and they eventually caved. But I also found out there were other parents that had kids, one kid in 3 sports, and didn't charge them 3 times. So I feel for you guys with this stuff coming, because it's only going to get worse right now, guys. Only going to get worse. So you got that to look forward to. Now, the next thing when it comes to inflation is, what are people giving up? What are you cutting back on? People are giving up on going out to dinner. People are giving up on steak dinners. People are giving up joining, sports leagues, extracurricular leagues, the yoga and stuff like that. They're giving up on all this stuff right now. So with that happening, that's tragic, guys. It's absolutely tragic. But there's an article out of the BBC that I have to bring to your guys' attention, and it talks about how parents are taking kids out to dinner and not eating, and just buying their kids a meal and going without. And this is so sad that we're supposed to believe that there is no problem, there is no issue right now. Come on, guys, this is getting ridiculous. It's getting really, really bad, and nobody wants to admit it. Nobody wants to sit there and say that there's an issue with this stuff, but it's only getting worse right now. And if you think that inflation is peaked, that's the one thing I like. I like that people write me and tell me that real estate's great and that inflation is peaked. So no, it hasn't. Inflation, real estate's not good, and inflation hasn't peaked. Let's just get to those 2 realizations of life. Now, one thing that's happening again as we enter August, you cannot see it from here because I'm south, I'm in Laguna Beach, is that the container ships are back, guys. Think about this. We got the container ships wait time down to 26 ships. Now, right now, as I sit here today, it's at 109 container ships. That is billions and billions of dollars worth of merchandise. And we have a problem here in California where they are not allowing truckers that are independent to go to the ports and to work in the state. So if these people want to go out and they want to run their business, they have to be an employee for someone or set their company up to where they can be an employee for their own company. This is going to create such havoc and such a problem that, again, you're going to see things like Halloween get screwed up. You're going to see Thanksgiving get screwed up. Christmas get screwed up. But again, things for your business are only going to get backlogged even more and more and more and more and more. That's what we're seeing live right now. Speaking of travel, speaking of getting things from one place to another, great article from the UK from a baggage handler out of Heathrow Airport. And this guy says, listen, I want to remain anonymous, but read this article because it's solid gold. And the guy said, listen, I wouldn't travel right now. I wouldn't trust my luggage with anybody because the chance that you're going to get your luggage is from destination A to destination B is slim. Okay? I got to use some of these quotes. He says he would be petrified to travel. He would make him manic, and he would be terrified to go on holiday. So a simple vacation would make it so you're not going to get your luggage. Now think about this. If you travel a great distance, you just can't have a carry-on bag. It's just impossible, guys. It doesn't work that way. So guys, it's getting bad, and it is bad. So, share your thoughts on this, but your chances of getting your luggage are slim. Think about this. Look at the article. It's fantastic. It's a great article below. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. Think about this. There is a Chick-fil-A in North Carolina that advertised for positions, for volunteer positions to serve food. Do you want to come work for free? at Chick-fil-A? How disgusting is that, guys? Hey, are you homeless and you'd like 5 free meals? That's what they were offering. 5 free meals to work at Chick-fil-A, and just come work here. Let's go. So next time you drive through a Chick-fil-A, the person that works there may not work there. So they've had a lot of hell for this, because people are like, you can't do this. People, believe it or not, when you go through a drive-through, the majority of these people have to take a food safety test. Here in California, at least they do. So you just can't have anybody just willy-nilly giving out food like it's, the homeless encampment. So that's what Chick-fil-A in Hendersonville, North Carolina wanted to do. They advertise this on social media, and this is insane. This is how screwed up the world is right now. And that's what they did. Now, share your thoughts on that one. Kay wrote me. Kay bought a used Camry, a 2016 used Camry. And the dealership that she bought it from is so desperate to get the car back that they're offering her, think about this, $8,000 above Kelley Blue Book. Bring the car in. We'll give you up to $8,000 for Kelley Blue Book. Over $8,000 over Kelley Blue Book. Is that insane? Again, check the letter that Kay sent me. This is unbelievable. So that's the shape of things to come, guys, right now. This is absolutely awful. That's what we're got to look forward to, and it's terrible. So, guys, this thing with the used cars right now, this doesn't continue for 6 months. People procrastinate in their own lives. I'm telling you guys this right now. Jump on this right now. Everything I talked about in this video, which is basically credit lines, how inflation's not going anywhere, how you need to get your finances in order, Patera, everything. Take a look at all this stuff, guys, because this is not going to get better. This is only going to get worse. And the way that this is going to work is they're going to continue to tell you that everything is okay and not to worry and just go about your day. And that's nuts. Now, the final thing, which we're going to hear more and more about this, is the supply chain issue gets messed up. The Hershey company stepped forward, and the Hershey company said that there is going to be a major shortage of Halloween candy this year. Really? Get ready for it. Okay, guys? It's July right now. July. Okay? So, we don't have the supply issue to make candy. Things are on the boats. Things are delayed. We've been making candy 3 months early this year, but there's going to be a shortage. Okay. What that's telling you is that Halloween candy is going to be incredibly expensive. And would you know the difference if you bought candy bars if they were made this year, last year, 3 years ago? Would you know that? Because I wouldn't. But again, not a candy guy, so don't know the answer to that. Please do not forget to hit the like button. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. Don't forget the email list. If you want more exclusive content, there is Patreon. Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon.